get out there and give messages. When's the right time to know when you belong in a development class? So I wanted to share a few things with you in order to help you figure out where you belong and what you should be doing. We have some wonderful classes here in the foundation, and I want to start a wee bit with that. One of the things that you have to remember is that we all have psychic abilities within each of us. The day we were born, we were already gifted with such capabilities. However, as we grew up, we became too preoccupied with the world that we have tended to get lost with our connection to source and our intuition, because it's through our intuition that we get to do that. So I want to share a few things with you. Okay, there's lots of workshops out there for you to be doing. There's lots of classes to be taken. It depends on where you want to go and what you want to do, okay? So our beginner spiritual development class has a tremendous amount of education. It's the basics of spiritualism. And it deals with some mental and light physical phenomena as well. It also helps you to get to the next stage. It identifies some of your gifts. It helps you to understand who your teachers are. Not always. Everyone's growth is different, and everyone gets it at a different time, okay? Some of you may have been aware of some of your teachers and guides right from the very beginning. Others take a little longer. So our classes are the basic mediumship. It's getting you started on your path. And we have 3 fabulous teachers in charge of that: Bonnie, Barb, and Sharon. And they've all been involved in this a long time. They're excellent teachers. So if you really want to get started, if you want to become a medium, you need to know the proper way of attuning, the proper way of connecting, and there are specific do's and don'ts in order to do this. You need how to learn how to shut them down. You need how to learn to connect and say, who's talking to me? How are they doing it? Where are you from? And these are all the basics, and you get this all in level 1. Okay? So then we go on to natural laws. Our natural laws course is a wee bit different than most of the natural laws out there. There's basically about 10, maybe 12, Bonnie, natural laws that most people teach. We have something like, Andrew, what was our list up to, 30?
About 25.
About 25, all right. We have 25 that we have the background to. There's a wee bit of overlapping on some of the material from the basic course, but we deal with law of attraction, cause and effect, ego. Tremendous amount of mediums out there have huge egos, okay? And you don't want ego to interfere in what you're doing. Let me give you a perfect example. I had someone come into me for a reading recently, and there's a lot of new mediums out there who are very connected to spirit, your loved ones, your family, and your friends. And I'm delighted with that. But if you don't have the basic background from level 1, you don't always know what you're doing. Sorry, it's truthful. I had someone come to me and they said, this woman said that, you know, I had issues with my mother, and I did, but I worked them out before she passed. And in the conversation, she said, Spirit wants you to write a letter giving your mother forgiveness. She said, Alva, I did all of that. I said, then why the letter? And she said, not only that, she told me that my guides would walk away if I didn't write the letter. That's hooey. That's nonsense. Your guides are here. They're to help you. They're to work with you. They're not going to walk away. You can encourage your guides to change if you learn material, if you go on to new subjects, but they don't walk away because you don't do something you're supposed to do. That's nonsense. Obviously, this person was simply channeling and did not have the basic foundation. So that's why I encourage you to do basic level first, okay? With the natural laws, we go on to apply it to our lives, the laws of the universe, in order to help us move forward. And the more you work with the material in the class, and we encourage you to go home and start working with it more, the more you're going to learn and apply it to your everyday life. And I think that's what's exciting it about. You know, you do have the responsibility to become the master of your own destiny. So the more you learn about spirit, the more you learn about how to work with spirit, the more you learn about the natural laws, the farther ahead you're going to be. So that brings us sort of to the mediumship classes, okay? The mediumship classes are about showing you the different ways, making sure, and you can repeat these classes. It's not an issue. If you feel you didn't get enough out of a class, go back and repeat it. Right, Nancy? Nancy's done it a couple of times, and Barb's done a couple. Yeah, Andrew did a couple. Andrew, you were in the natural laws class 2 years before you started teaching? Just one? Okay, sorry. Thought you were in it more. You've done it now for 3 years, so
Yeah.
that's where I came from. Okay, so part of this is learning the first step, and the first step is meditating. Learning how to connect to your higher self and to source. That's the first step, okay? And it's not about pressure. You do this in your time frame. Sometimes people find that halfway through a class, they're just finding it overwhelming and it's too much for them. If you stop in the middle of a class and you have to go back the following year, no one here cares. We care that you want to develop. We care that you want to move forward. We care that you're interested in growing personally. Whether you do this publicly or not is irrelevant. We want you to be happy and successful and be in charge of your own destiny. So these classes are really designed to help you be more in charge. Now let's take this a step further, because the truth is, this applies to anything you do in your life. Anything that you have any interest in, you need to apply the same methodology. You do the research behind it. You go and find out more about it. You talk to other people. Talk to the people here that have taken some of the classes and how it's made a difference in their life. That's what's important. That's the most important thing. There's no absolute right or wrong. There are some do's and don'ts. And when you've got the basic courses and then you move on to the natural laws and then to the mediumship, you're going to find that by the time you get to the end of the mediumship, you're a well-rounded individual. Most of the time, right, Nancy? I like to tease Nancy. But this is all about you. It's not a forced march, kids, honestly. You know, it's really not. And we're here to support you on your journey. We're not here to tell you what to do or how to do it. But we will tell you when you're not applying yourself properly or when your thinking is off base. And we do try to stick to the subject matter at hand. Other things come up and we try to address it, but we're not here to tell you what to do. That brings me to some of the other workshops that we do. You know, I'm not the only one in the community putting on workshops. I do things that are tied into the work that I'm doing, and I try to enhance everybody's life. But I'm not going to stand around and tell you what to do or how not to do it. One of the things I will do is if you're not standing up and doing what you're supposed to do, I will nip at your toes. I'm very good at that. I should have taken anger management years ago. I simply learned how to control most of the time. Okay, so I want to change the subject just a little bit, okay? Because in doing all of this, it's really important to understand that no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you have to love what you're doing and love your life. Okay? So I want to talk a little bit about some material I just found on the internet. In natural laws, we talk a lot about frequency, and then the work that I do, I deal a lot with frequency, with my lights, with my biofeedback, even with my hands-on healing. When I do hands-on healing, your body talks to me through my hands, and it tells me what's going on around you. So I found an article this week on the internet that I thought was absolutely fascinating, and it has to do with frequencies. The miracle of 528 hertz. Everybody knows what hertz is. It's the vibrations, right? Okay. The love frequency. Okay. And I have brought a CD. I want to put it on. Barb, would you put this on for me for just a minute? They actually, if you go on the internet, okay, to the love frequency, you will find on YouTube 62 minutes of this music, okay? And it's a love frequency. Now, what's important about this is that it actually helps to change your DNA. We've been talking a lot about how the world is changing, how we're all raising to a higher vibration. And this is actually, it's not very loud, I apologize. I didn't turn the music up when I did it because someone was sleeping in the house and I didn't want to disturb them. And I recorded it at 3 in the morning. My favorite time. That's good enough, yeah, okay. So this is 528 hertz. It's the musical mathematical matrix of creation. More than any previous sound discovered, it is the love frequency. What I find fascinating is how many musicians are now using it in their music. It resonates at the heart of everything, just as the drums do. The drums are actually the rhythm of your heartbeat. That's why so many people are drawn to it, okay? It connects your heart, your spiritual essence, to the spiral reality of heaven and earth. Let the love 528 music play inside of you. The love frequency is the miracle note of the original solfeggio musical scale, okay? When we talk about the spiral, when we talk about the flower of life, it's all tied into that. That's all part of that frequency. Independently confirmed by researchers, these core creative frequencies were used by ancient priests and healers in the advanced civilizations to manifest miracles and produce blessings. Math scientist Victor Showell described 528 as the fundamental to the ancient pi. Isn't that interesting? And the golden mean. Everybody knows what I mean by the golden mean, where it's like the inside of a shell where it spirals out this way. That's the golden mean, okay? And it's a natural design in so many things. It's proven that 528 is essential to the sacred geometry of circles and spirals and consistent with the DNA structuring and hydrosonic restructuring. So I have decided to play it at night in the house. My husband won't let me heal him, but if I play the love music, maybe he will. 528 resonates to 6, the icon for physical manifestation. The symbol 6 reflects the spiraling down from heaven and the wholeness to earth, okay? In fact, the love frequency can be fundamental to broadcasting all matter and energy into reality according to the law of frequencies. It's extraordinary, and using the Latin dictionary, hidden entries from Webster's, it says the me tone, me, is characterized as extraordinary occurrence, surpasses all known human powers or natural forces, and is ascribed to the divine or supernatural cause, especially to God. Well, if you're changing your DNA, of course you're connected to God, because it can't be done any other way. A superb or surpassing example of something wonderfully or marvel. And it's aiming to hold it. They say that it's a sighting to aiming to hold the light, so the light frequency, okay? And its movements to express thought, emotions, any action, communication, and is intended for the effect. It's really interesting because they use this in the Gulf of Mexico with the oil spill. Infused with water, with nature's most celebrated energy. They used this in 2010. An electromagnetic energy expert from Vancouver, BC, helped purify poisoned water off the Gulf of Mexico following the BP oil spill. He and his research partner, Nancy Hutchinson, used this frequency to reduce oil and grease in polluted waters. It took that, they were about 20 feet up the beach from the water, and they manifested to this frequency. And what they found was they restored the water's viability as manifested by the return of fish, dolphins, even barnacles. Nancy said that the water had been murky brown and was clear green. 2 dolphins came within 5 feet of the water's edge, and lots of schools of fish and crabs were very active. The results were certified by Dr. Robert Namath, president of Analytical Chemical Testing Laboratories of Mobile, Alabama. He's an analytical chemist with almost 30 years in the field, and confirmed the complete removal of oil and grease from the after-treatment sample source tested. How's that one for you? Pretty amazing. So you can find this on the internet. You just go to that frequency, and it talks a lot about it. And in the article, they go on and they say that if we all use this frequency and work with it, we can bring love and peace to the world. Well, that's part and parcel of really what we want to do, isn't it? Bring harmony in our homes, in our workplaces, and within our environment. So I think it's fascinating. It's 528 hertz, and you can look it up on the internet. And there's an actual program you can go in and watch for the 62 minutes in order to help heal things. I downloaded it because I thought it would be kind of fun to listen to this morning. Where we go, how we grow, is a personal choice. My encouragement is that all of you can do anything you make up your mind to do. I've always stated that thoughts are things. We have the ability to do anything we choose in this lifetime. You need to keep your mind active. You need to be aggressively moving forward in whatever area of your life that you choose, whether it's work or play. If you keep an constant focus on where you want to go, you'll get there. Now let me deal just a wee bit with the mediumship, because I've had a few questions in regards to that. I stated no two people learn the same way. So my encouragement is, if you want to be, if you're learning how to be a medium and you want to come out at work and at our psychic teas, come out and practice. It's a great way to start. But start with your family and your friends, and don't be too aggressive with people you don't know, please. It's not appreciated. But you know, call your friends and say, can I do a mini reading on you? Can I do this? Can I do that? Try the different things. Try the psychometry. Try, if you want to use tarot cards, try that. Try the crystal ball. Try the pendulum, okay? Try reading pictures. Whatever you're drawn to is what I want to encourage you to do, because it's all going to enhance everything you're doing. And the better variety of things that you do, the easier it is for you to move forward. And you learn much quicker when you're open to other things. So don't be simply stuck on one thing. Learn many things. As you heard recently, I'm working a lot right now with the Akashic Records. And I'm trying to put a course together to teach more about the Akashic Records. All of the angels, what they look like, what they represent, how to call on them, how to identify them if you see them, or by sounds that they have. This is the way we all move forward. That's how I started with natural laws. When I was taking the ministerial course, Spirit said, we need more of this, and in a week they gave me the basic outline. And then it took me a couple of months to pull everything together, and that's why we have the course we have now. So any of you can do this. You just need to be open to Spirit and work with what your abilities are, and try to enhance all aspects of everything that you do. Hope that gives you some insights. Hope I wasn't too hard on you this morning. And I thank you for allowing me to share.